Hello. I'm actually just getting started. Haven't clocked on to my Zonar, which is unlike me. I guess my break has been 11 hours and 13 minutes. The reason being, I'm going to turn the motor off so it's more quiet. See how much more quiet it is. Today, September 3rd, Friday. Okay. This video, I'm going to give you kind of something I always do, but I do it so fast. I've been driving 12 years. It's like I can do this in like 30 seconds or a minute, you know. But I'm going to walk you through. One of the things that Mike and I talked about is redesigning the Driving to Tokyo site, and to be very kind of user-friendly, so when you visit it, especially I'll talk more about this in detail. The Driving to Tokyo whole thing that we're co-creating, Mike and I, has many different layers, you know, and reasons and purposes, and the mission of it is manyfold, okay? It isn't just one thing, okay? But one of the things that I talked to Mike about doing is making it easy for someone, and I don't know how they're going to find the site. That's the big thing, is that Mike and I have talked about, and it's true. This is the honest truth. No matter how much effort we put into it, or how much we redesign in the second phase, and how much we like it, and it reflects the true essence of what we want to do, the proof of it even fulfilling its purpose, it will be dependent on the amount of people that come to it and see it, and it speaks to them, okay? So one of the things I thought about doing is we're just getting started with this second phase. In fact, technically, it's the 3rd of September, and we were going to complete our first 90-day cycle of working together for the first time, taking this from 0 to where it is today. We were going to finish that on the 7th, so we're still in the first phase. But one of my ideas was simply this, okay, is on the front screen having the current load that I was doing, so that if you were brand new and came upon the site, and specifically if you were somebody out there in the world, you know, specifically I guess in the United States, and it really doesn't matter what age you are, because I started when I was 55 years old. I'm now going on 68, okay? So you could be older like me. That's not gonna stop you from being a part of this, okay? Virtually it can be any age. There's some people that find this or decide to become an over-the-road truck driver when they're retired from the military, you know, because it really fits right in with, that's another conversation. But in my mind, the most ideal, sometimes they call it avatar. It's like when you're building a site or a brand or something on the internet, one of the ideas is to answer these questions. And the question is, who's your ideal person? Who are you speaking to? Who's going to get the most value from what you're offering? You know, who is that person? You know, and what is it that you can speak to them so that there's I don't know how to say it. It's like when that person shows up, they're like, wow, this is exactly what I was looking for, okay? Because it needs to be like a synergy. So one of the things I thought about is simply this, having, and this is going to evolve, it's going to change with every load, but have information about each load I'm doing, okay? So if you happen to come onto the site, you're watching this particular video or another video related to this, it would have the current load. In other words, it would have the load plan, the route plan, the fuel solution, In other words, the specific information that you would get as a driver with night transportation. It's going to be night transportation specific, because I would recommend that you go through Squire and the whole process with night, because I'll be able to teach you and show you exactly what we do. Obviously, there's lots of other companies and truck driving schools you could attend, but to get the full value with me, because I've been with Night 9 years, it's better to, in my opinion, go through Squire so that we're on the same wavelength, I'm teaching you what we do, okay? So you're going to be able to test drive, actually get the experience of what you would do as a driver. I don't know if that makes sense. So the first thing you do, we have a Zonar, and then we have, what I use a lot is a Night app on my smartphone. And on my smartphone, I get all that information, the same exact information when Erica's my driver manager now, when she sends me what we call a pre-plan. And what a pre-plan is basically, let's say I'm on my load right now. I'm actually on the second full day of this load. So I'm kind of starting on the second day. I'm on the second day of this load, and I will probably, I'm 533 miles out. I'll probably get most likely to my destination tonight, okay, or get very close and deliver tomorrow morning. So I'm going to contact Erica, because it is Friday and she works Monday through Friday, and give her an ETA and also a PTA. It means projected time available, so that she can already be setting me up for a pre-plan for this weekend, okay? So preferably it'll be a load that I can pick up tomorrow. So the whole idea is we're working in tandem, where her job is to keep me moving, okay? My job is to take the load and do my thing, you know? So I've been doing this long enough that I can get a pre-plan and look at and go, this is gonna work or it's not gonna work, based on a bunch of factors that probably be a little bit like Chinese to you, with the hours and the route and where it's going, and I can look at it and go, okay, this will work. Now, I was just coming off what's called a reset on this particular load, which means I had a full 70-hour clock. So that was easy. I pretty much knew that anything she gave me, I could do. I mean, if she gave me a load going all the way to Florida, I could do it, because I have full 70-hour clock. Now, she happened to give me this load to go all the way up to Salem, Oregon, okay, and from Phoenix, and I was pretty jazzed with it, because I'd just been coming up here. Before I took my 34-hour reset, I had done a load from Southern California to Hermiston, Oregon, okay, to a Walmart, which I've been to a lot of different times. And then she gave me the return that was only 4 miles from the Walmart, that went right back down to Southern California. So it was 2 back-to-back, Oregon loads. And now I'm going right back up to Oregon. Now, what I'm going to show you just briefly, because I'm already like the second full day. Now, on this particular load was really highly unusual, because when I got it, and by the way, side thing, which is really cool with Night being based in Phoenix. In fact, I think it's true for any terminal, because I think your DMs are always going to be in the terminal you're working out of. And that might not seem like a big deal, or why is that even different? Well, the previous company I worked for, the first 3 years I was driving a truck, the company was based in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And I had a DM too. But the only time I could actually personally talk to my DM, other than just on the phone, is if I happened to be out in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I was based in Fontana. So it was kind of funny. With the previous company, I went maybe months before I finally had a chance to meet my DM, even though we've been talking on the phone. With Night Transportation, what I like is I'm based out of the Phoenix terminal. So when I come in after my home time, or just after my 34-hour reset, I can go in and talk to Erica. Hey, Erica, I'm back. Got my truck set up. You know, I'm ready to rock and roll. And in fact, I got lucky. This is exactly what happened. I got lucky and got an empty. Here's the empty number. You know, I'm ready to roll. We're in good shape. And so I can talk to her personally and say, hey, thanks for the load going up to Salem. I noticed I've got 8 days, you know, to deliver it. I have till the 8th. It's now the 3rd. So technically, I'm 533 miles out, which is basically one shift. And I still have 5 days. I have a 5-day window, okay, which is really unusual, okay. And I'm bringing this up because in relationship to my making my videos, Erica is actually watching my videos. Madeline is watching my videos, who's the dry van terminal manager. She's overseeing Erica and all the driver managers. So what I'm in the process of negotiating with them is this, because of what I'm doing, okay. On this load, I could probably have it there tonight and then get another load. Weekend loads have a tendency to have a little more flex time, but what I'm getting at is because I'm actually creating a site to potentially recruit people, the people that are looking for what we have, and train. And I'm creating something with Mike's help that is still under the umbrella of, you know, things that need to happen within logistics and night transportation, that on occasion, like right now, when I have a load that has a big window, like right now, 5 more days, to give me potentially a little more time flexibility. So like right now, specifically, you know, I didn't take off right at my 10-hour break. Okay, I waited for daylight because it's a little safer to drive with daytime. I sent a message in to have my fuel card open to get fuel right where I'm at, Pilot in Fernley, Nevada. It's outside of Reno. And the reason why I want to get a little more flexibility is because this next phase, with Mike's help, I want to create a site that is something really be proud of, that's really functional and user-friendly and fits the vision I have. So when I have these rare loads like this one, where I have lots of time, I can like spend a little time talking right now on this particular load. Now there'll be other loads that I do the same thing. I have the load on the front screen, but it's really tight. Like I may just say, hey, okay, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. We're picking up here, we're going there, and maybe giving you a recap, and I'd say you, whomever may be watching this, giving you a recap that might be only 2 minutes long. I'm gonna rock and roll, do my pre-trip, and it's gonna be really tight, and you're gonna feel that kind of like short window. In other words, it might be a load that I have no wasted time. I don't have any flex time. So there's going to be loads like that. There's going to be loads like this one, okay? And I'm going to talk to Madeline about this too, okay? Because, and ideally as a driver, I'm getting really long. This should be like one video. It's 13 minutes long, and I haven't even shown you my Zonar yet, or the specifics on this load. But I can actually pull it up here. I can kind of verbally tell you. And again, I'm gonna get you know, better at even doing this, because this is a brand new idea, and I don't know if you can even see this. You know, it's probably backwards. I might have to take a picture of this, because yeah, I've got 2 iPhones, so I'm recording on this, and I got the information on that. I already know what it is, but I'll just verbally tell you, and I'll maybe take some pictures of the load plan, the fuel solutions, and the route plan. That's another whole story. Is I'm taking a slightly different route that I like to take, that I think is faster and better than the one they gave me that's about the same mileage, okay? Basically, this particular load, I deadheaded to Kingman from Phoenix. Kingman, Arizona, which was about 200 miles, a 4-hour drive. It was a live load. It was scheduled 9/1, which is 2 days ago, from 8 a.m. to 15:40, which is 3:40. We use military time. I got there about 12:30. Okay, got loaded fairly fast, and then unloaded. So when you arrive somewhere, by the way, you do what's called arrived at shipper. It's a macro message. Then when you're loaded, you do a loaded call. Now, when you're a brand new driver, everything's going to seem like there's too much information or you're overwhelmed, but you'll just repetitively do the same thing. Like when you go to shipper, it's arrived at shipper. When you get loaded, it's loaded call. Those two messages, okay? Then once you do that, you're back. You're just following the route and the fuel solutions. This was going to Home Depot in Salem, Oregon, okay? And it, again, the parameters was all the way up to 8th at 2000, which is 8 o'clock. Again, I can probably have it up there tonight, or since I've got lots of time, maybe really close, shut down and deliver it first thing in the morning or whenever I want, because it's probably a 24-hour facility. And I'll communicate that to Erica, and then she'll probably give me another load, which is a pre-plan, okay? And I really don't even have to look at the GPS. I have this on my GPS because I know exactly where I'm going. Basically, here's where I'm going. I'm fueling up right now, and I'm going to be on 80 west, headed towards Reno/Sacramento, except I'm not going to go past Reno. And Reno, I'm going to take the 395 northbound. And then there's going to be some little connecting highways that I take that I know that you just have to go here, go here, go here, go here. And eventually what happens is I end up running up to, I'm headed from Reno to Klamath Falls, Oregon, okay? And in Klamath Falls, Oregon, there's a pilot, okay? And then just north of that pilot, there's another pilot. And then north of that, there's a Highway 58 off the 97. Okay, the 97 from Klamath Falls actually originates in Weed, California on the 5 interstate. Okay, like if you're going the regular way up to Oregon, you go all the way up the 5. This is the back way that I've taken through Las Vegas and Nevada, because especially when I was in Kingman to pick up the load, and going the back way through Las Vegas and Nevada. Okay, and then the 58 runs into Interstate 5 and Eugene, Oregon, just not far from Salem. So the point is, this whole entire route from Kingman that I took, I didn't have to run into like Sacramento or any big cities at all until I get into Oregon. Even Eugene's not a big city. And then drop in Salem. And Salem's south of Portland, Oregon. Okay. So that's what we're going to have to the best of my ability. So whenever new people come on, they're going to have to see the current load. Like right now, I happen to be picking this up on the 3rd day, but it's the same idea. And then once I'm done with this is going to go to a column. So the previous load, previous day, or whenever, will be shown there. So if you happen to watch whatever you're watching, it's the current load, and you kind of like it and you want to see how they vary, you can go to another one that's going to be different. Every load is going to be different. It may be similar, like potentially, I mean, it can happen. I might get a load from Southern California to Hermiston, Oregon to Walmart and go right back down to Southern California, to Paris, California, okay, which would be different, obviously, because I'm going from north to south. But then once I get down there, I get another load almost exactly, maybe in the same shipper, right back up to Hermiston, Oregon, okay? But nevertheless, they'll be in order and sequence. The other reason I wanted to do this is that as a driver, when you're new, it's going to take you a while to get there. Okay, you should see the stack of transflows I have, the number of loads I've done, in my career, and even the last month. Just every time I do a load, I transflow the paperwork and the bill of lading, everything. I'm on daily pay, which means that if I transflow something like this particular load specifically, okay, when I finish, I'm going to do arrived at consignee, empty call, and then I'm done. And then I have this TransFlow, these sheets I fill out, and I can either do it with my phone or TransFlow at the truck stop. But my point is, if I TransFlow before 10 o'clock in the morning, payroll gets it, and it's in my account that night. It's called daily pay. So then my money comes in really fast. It's another benefit with night transportation. Not all truck companies do this. Sometimes you'll see trucking companies say you get paid every week, but so far I haven't seen one that, there might be one, that you get paid every day or daily, or potentially as soon as you finish that load, if you TransFlow before 10 o'clock in the morning, it's in your account that night. Then if you're curious about your payroll, you just call payroll, and they're very courteous. They'll take care of you. Like when I was trying to make a decision, I'm going to wrap up with this. Okay, when I was trying to make a decision whether to take this $94,000 a year job with night teams, I called payroll and asked them how much money have I made to date this year, how much did I make last year, how am I tracking this year, so they could tell me how much I've made, and then I could kind of compare the two, and then, you know, really think it out and think, is this what, because it would have been ended up, I would have had to transfer to Memphis, Tennessee, instead of being based in Phoenix. I'd be working with a different driver manager and different terminal, and I'd be moving. I wouldn't be moving physically away from Arizona, because they were going to route me back to the west. But I just decided at this point in my life, what I want is, you know, not to make a big change like that. And this, more specifically, I like being solo, which is another whole huge conversation, you know. Is the benefits of being solo. Like right now, I'm sitting here talking to you, and there's not a co-driver here where I'm like, dude, I have to talk to them. I'm making these videos. I'll be rolling in just a minute. It's just me, okay? Now, I'm gonna probably get rolling because I've already been sitting 11:35, and I start at 10, so I've been sitting here about an hour and a half. I've had my coffee, it's daylight, I'm ready to roll. So this is gonna just be one video, okay? I'm gonna now save onto my photos, then I send it over to YouTube, download it, then Mike is gonna get it, look at it and go, oh dude, this is okay, I like it. And then he's gonna put the thumbnail and the title, and this will be a video, right? Kind of a sample size of what it may not be as long, like this has been 22 minutes long, okay? But this is just tonight, because it's kind of how it's gonna be, okay? Now, in reference to other things we're gonna have on the site, I'll talk about that later, because this is already 20 plus minutes, so I'm gonna rock and roll. I'm gonna have to go put myself on duty and pre-trip, and do my pre-trip, and then fuel up. I can fuel in about 7 minutes or so, and then I'll be rolling. And after I do all that, I'm gonna be going down the highway, and we have a terminal in Reno. So if I really want to, I can make a pit stop there. It's next to the Petro. It's the one terminal we have that's literally right next to the Petro truck stop. I mean, the Sparks Reno yard. Here's another cool thing. If you join Night Squire, you may get training in Phoenix, but let's say you like skiing, and you've always wanted to live near Lake Tahoe. Sparks, Nevada is just really right there near Lake Tahoe. It's a couple hours from Sacramento. You know, it's kind of Reno's kind of like Reno Sparks is kind of like a smaller Las Vegas. So you can kind of picture a Las Vegas right by the Sierras, a couple hours from Sacramento, California, and then really close to Lake Tahoe and heavily skiing and all that. And it's a small terminal, but still has showers, laundry, DM, you know, the things. You still drive your car there, pick up your truck. You do all the same things I do in Phoenix, except it's Reno, Sparks, Nevada. So I might even stop there so I can film it and show it to you. So we have many terminals. We have a terminal in Portland. I could go through all the terminals. We have one in Denver and Aurora. So after you go through Squire and your training, it's my understanding, you're not required to, even though you might technically do your training in Phoenix, you then can decide which terminal you're going to work out of. I'm going to have to check, frankly, all those specifics, so I'm quoting you the right information. But the point is, if you join Knight, it does not mean you have to work out of Phoenix, okay? There's many other choices, okay, depending on what you want, where you live, and what your goals are, and all of that stuff. I've been working out of the Phoenix terminal since I got started. I did my hiring orientation, and I've been based there all the time. Okay, so here we go.